Alright so guys, welcome back to another video. Back at it again at Farlin. Fat Tire, obviously. Finally doing the first hood tour episode with that. So, thought about doing it yesterday, but I didn't have time to save the videos, Oh, it is kind of okay. Because now it's on because it's starting to warm up. Okay. Because the water perk that was over here by the playground, over in that direction we're looking at it, where the blue sign is not working anymore. I kind of wish that they would put something like the yellow hoop things over here with this, so. Now that I know that that works, and how it looks, oh wait, no, that's just the cover. Oh, I know all those are, there's one every so often, you got one here and then one that sprays and another one and so you got a cover here, and that one sprays, and you got a cover over there, and that one sprays, and blah, blah, blah. Oh, they do spray. They're just little baby ones, they don't go straight up and out like how these ones do. Okay, I was and there's ones in the center too that I guess might do something too, I don't know. Now I kind of wish I never fucking hit the button because I don't know how long this stays. Oh, and they push all the two. A lot of them push a lot of the water out already and they're done. So now it's just the center little like fountain things in the middle here by the drain in the middle and the two over there that are spraying. Now I know how this all fucking works, so I don't know. If it would have been a nicer day, I'd fucking ride through it, in shorts and all that, but I don't want to wreck my phone, and I got batteries that are in a bag in my pocket, so. Like I said, otherwise I'd go through it and I'd just leave my phone on the table and not forget it, but. All right, now it's completely done. I think. Well, no, I think the only one that I didn't see really do anything was the one here, the one over here where it's dry, the one I think in the middle there is one, and then the one over here where it's dry. I don't know how all this shit works, so. Nothing really new going on today. Gotta work tonight, but holy fuck. Yesterday we were good, doing good. Up until nine o'clock. And we did a $220, I think it's a $222 hour. And it just went for a fucking hour. I'm like, what the fuck? And we get done. I filtered the fryers, or got the grill done. And then filtered the first fryer, had to go to the bathroom, because I've been drinking I had a Kickstart, I had a sparkling water, I had a Monster, a couple of sodas, and a shake yesterday. So I went to the bathroom right after we got closed. So boom, got the first fire done. And I think I did the second one, I don't remember. Went to the bathroom, came back, went to shut the gate, and had a lady that was a delivery driver, a food delivery driver for, like, let's say Uber Eats and DoorDash and Eat Street, for the ones that are still using Eat Street. But I think she's through Uber, and I had the gate partially open, and I ducked under, and I went like this. I could see that there's somebody there out of the corner of my eye. So I went under, hit the button to close the gate. She's like, "You guys open?" I said, "No, we're closed. I'm sorry." And I was being polite about it. And she said, "Well, I got a mobile order to pick up." I said, "We don't do, and she said she's through Uber and had a mobile order to pick up. And I said, "We don't do any mobile order pickups after 9:30, between 9:30 and 10, which is when we close." She's like, "Then how am I supposed to pick it up?" I said, I don't know, because we don't, I told her we don't do tablet orders between 9:30 and 10, and then at 10 we close, so everything's getting shut off. I wanted to tell her everything's shut off. I'm not waiting an hour to turn it back on to dirty it, to spend a half hour, 45 minutes to fucking clean it and get out of here at fucking midnight. That's why I wanted to tell her, that's why I wanted to tell her is I'm not sitting here, for an hour for everything to fucking warm up and heat up to what it's supposed to be to cook, that we have shit set at to cook shit. To wait 5-10 minutes for the shit to be done and have to make the order. To spend a half hour, 45 fucking minutes to re-clean everything. And then I'm getting out of here at 11:30 midnight. And I don't want to be there later than I need to. It's like, what's the fucking point? Because like I said, we just got hit between 9 and 11. Or 9 and 10. And I wanted to get all the shit cleaned that I needed to, everything cleaned. I wanted to because I had to getting ready to, I had the grill all scrubbed off and scrubbed and shit. And all I had to do was just rinse it and wipe it, rinse all the cleaner off and then wipe everything down on the grill. And I was getting, just got done fucking scrubbing the grill, getting ready to fucking rinse all the cleaner off. And all of a sudden, bing, fucking chick orders 2 burgers. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't yell at it, but I didn't yell at it because I know I'd get yelled at. But I was like, what the fuck? I was like, you fucking, there was a time when I started closing, I was like, you fucking kidding? And Lily took the order and she's like, what? I said, I just got done cleaning the fucking grill. Now I gotta rinse it off to fucking use it, to clean it again. She's like, yeah, that's how it's gonna go sometimes. I'm like, that's fucking stupid. I tell her, that's fucking stupid, dude. I understand, yeah, I appreciate that everybody that comes in, it's just, they make my life so fucking hard. It's not even funny. So then I just went and then I just threw the burgers on and whatever, and I scraped the grill, scrubbed the area where I had the burgers, wiped everything down, cleaned the grill up, and I said, I'm fucking done with, doing this. So, cleaned the grill, wiped everything down, dumped the thing, all the grease and shit in the bucket. And then I shut the fucking grill off. I said, I'm done, And then by that point, the thing was saying, sorry, we were telling them that we're closed. And we're getting to the point of getting closer to me going to the bathroom and shit. And then that Uber Eats lady came and she said she's through Uber, got an order to pick up. I said, I'm sorry, we're closed. We don't do tablet or, any tablet orders, whether it's through DoorDash or Uber Eats or the online, because we have a website that customers can. All right, so how this is going to break down, it's going to be confusing, but, try to stay along. So we are on several different delivery apps like DoorDash, Uber Eats, and all that. And we also have, with our website, people can order food and come and pick it up. They order food through the website. They'll be like, okay, your order will be ready in, let's say, 15, 20 minutes. So then they order it, comes in, we make it, and they show up. And then, okay, pull up to the window, or, pull up to the window if they come and drive, or if they come in and be like, okay, just give us a minute, we'll bag it up. Okay. And so then we'll bag it and whatever, or if it's drive-through, it'll be like, okay, pull up to the window. Then if we have somebody in front of them, we'll make that order first, get that order out, and then they'll come and go boom, get their food and so on and so forth. DoorDash and Uber Eats is the same way. You order through DoorDash or Eat Street or Uber Eats or whatever, which Eat Street I think is going out of business. So I think just DoorDash, Uber Eats, Eat Street, and Grubhub. But with Eat Street, I think going out of business. So we don't really get those anymore. So then they come and get it and whatever. A delivery driver comes and gets it. So then the lady comes last night through Uber. And she's like, are you guys, I asked if I worked here. And she's like, are you guys open? I said, no, I'm sorry, we're closed. So she's like, you work here? I stood up and I turned around. And obviously I had my A&W, my hat that I wear at work on, which is the company hat, a hat with the company logo. And she's like, are you guys open? I said, no, unfortunately, we're not. We're just closed, literally at the time it was 10 after 10 or a quarter after 10, whatever it was. And fucking, she's like, well, I got a mobile order to pick up through Uber. I said, unfortunately, we don't do those, orders through Uber Eats or Grubhub or DoorDash, whatever it may be. With those three main ones, we don't do accept those orders after 9:30 because the order came in at like 9:32, 9:31, 9:32. Between 9:30 and 9:35. Let's just go with that. So and I said, hey, I yelled out, hey, Dee Dee. She's like, yeah. I said, come look at this. I said, she's like, what? I said, it's a fucking Uber. It came in at about a minute and a half ago. At the time, it was 9:33. She's like, we don't, clear it. I said, boom, fucking done. I'm not doing it. So then, that's why we don't do the tablet orders after 9:30 because they show up after fucking 10. By that time, the food's already fucking done. Done and old and cold and whatever. And then, I said, she's like, starting to get pissed off and trying to be like, hey, you gotta fucking do this. And Dee Dee jumped in and said, no, we don't. Because Dee Dee's a manager, I'm just a crew member. She's like, no, you don't. We don't have to fucking do it. We do it, have it set up to where the orders shouldn't be coming in after 9:30. We don't know what's going on with it. We don't know how people are getting around the fucking 9:30 time. Because the district manager that my store is under changed it and whatever. So she's like, all right, whatever, and left. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna end the video here, and I'll see you guys in the next video.